Welcome back to Just Me and the Watch. I'm so glad you could join me again for another video. Remember, if you're enjoying the content and you're having a good time here, don't forget to like and subscribe. A couple of videos ago, I shared with you one of my AliExpress purchases, a Pagani design watch inspired by the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, and I talked about how much I love sports watches as a category. Today, though, I want to share a different watch with you that I think is another really excellent example of the sports watch category. This is a watch that I've had in my collection for a little over 7 years now, and it's probably the one that gets the most wear in my entire collection. This watch has been a dress watch, it's been a casual watch, it has been a daily driver kind of watch that you just grab and wear every day. It's even done duty as a field watch on a couple of family camping trips. I swim with this watch, and I even work in the yard with this watch sometimes if I forget to take it off. I'm talking about my Seiko SARB033. And it's one of the best watches and the best values for money that I own. The SARB line has been really important to Seiko in the last couple of decades. So before we look at my watch, I want to talk about a few others. In 2006, Seiko launched the SARB family of watches to the domestic market in Japan, beginning with the SARB 001, 003, and 005. These were inspired by vintage designs from the King Seiko Van-X line. The idea was to introduce a line of watches powered by the new 6R15 movement that could be sold as a mid-level value brand, with the 6R15 providing hacking, hand winding, and 50 hours of power reserve, plus stainless steel cases with sapphire crystals and excellent finishing. The SARB line provided high-value specs for under $1,000. In 2006 and in 2009, we got two new additions to the Alpinist family, with the SARB 017 and the slim case Alpinist SARB 059, with both coming in a range of color and bracelet options. 2010 brings us the first Presage cocktail time, with the SARB 065 and its variants. A little less than a decade later, it would be re-released with the 4R35 movement. In all, 78 watches belong to the SARB family. Now, about halfway through that run, in roughly 2008, coming to market, we have the SARB 035 with the white dial, the SARB 037 with the salmon dial, which is very popular and very rare and hard to find today, and then my watch, the SARB 033. Now, as I said, I've had this watch for about 7 years, and when it was new, I paid about $400 for it. It was discontinued in 2018, but it can still be found on the used market and on eBay, typically for around $600 and up. So here is my constant companion, my daily driver, my multi-tool, my watch. She's definitely wearing some well-earned patina and tiny scratches and nicks, but everything still holds up and still looks great. As we take a closer look, we can see the craftsmanship and thought that went into this watch's design. A glossy black dial with applied indices with just a touch of lume to keep it useful. A thoughtfully finished and color-matched date wheel and those elegant Dauphine hands. For me, I think it's those hands that really set it apart from other watches in the category. Dauphine hands give me a classic Art Deco vibe that it just elevates any watch. In my opinion, the case finishing is competitive with watches costing at least 3 times as much. The extra bevel going down to the lugs with a combination of brushed and polished surfaces, including the polished bezel to make the face really pop, that's truly a work of art. The included bracelet is very adequate for this watch. It does have its quirks, which I'll share in a moment, but I would still rate it as above average. I found this watch to be one of the easiest to size up and very comfortable. Full disclosure though, it's not all sunshine and roses. While this watch has been perfect for me, it's not perfect. It does have a few flaws. For example, on the backside, we have this display case back showcasing that really nice 6R15 movement, and they even went to the trouble of adding some Geneva stripes to the rotor. Personally, I would have foregone the display case back and went with a solid one to try to shave a millimeter or two from the overall thickness of the watch. While its proportions are really good, 12 millimeters is a bit chunkier than I'd like for this style and this size of watch. Finally, that bracelet, I've got just a couple bones to pick. First, while they fit well and are very well machined, I've always felt like the end links sometimes look like they were made for another watch and just happened to fit this one. Not quite as integrated as some other pieces. And secondly, the stock clasp on this watch was pretty atrocious. When you get a chance, Google the SARB033 gap and you'll see hundreds of pics that illustrate how the clasp left a giant gap that snagged on clothes, it collected dirt, scratched you. Eventually someone figured out a way to swap the clasp out with an aftermarket one, which wasn't easy or straightforward because of how the original one was constructed. I did this too. I made this mod and I've never looked back. Despite these flaws, though, I have never encountered a situation where my SARB didn't fit the occasion. It looks good with every outfit, in every light, from every angle. Every strap I've ever put it on looks amazing, and frankly, so does the bracelet. I'm the only one who notices the imperfections. In my opinion, this is truly the best affordable, go anywhere, do anything watch available. You should go get one and see for yourself. Well, there you have it. That's the story of my Seiko SARB033. It's an excellent watch and proof that most of the time the simplest answer is the best answer. Hope you had a good time joining me and learning about this watch today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and come back to Just Me and the Watch. We'll see you next time.